I'm that girl who knows that when you have an agenda, you won't stop until it's done. And this could be said for many people right now who are trying to enforce certain agendas that may be considered things like the dark agenda or Agenda 2030. And so those people who have been planning for this situation, these events, that agenda will not stop for anything inconvenient like people and their choices and their freedoms and their rights. This is beyond that. They are really overlooking the bigger picture because they have their own picture to focus on and to be aiming for. And we know that they are very supported with unlimited funds, and they have got so much on their side to be able to help them do everything that they feel like they need to be doing to support their own agenda with their little click of whatever moral compass, questionable actions they want and need, because they feel like they're on the right side of their moral compass. They feel that what they are being paid to do and supported to do is justified, and they are wanting to just continue on their path. And so this is unfortunate, and unfortunately, doesn't matter what we seem to do, this is all playing the part of the duality of what we need to see. They're playing their roles and others are playing their roles, and it's all for those experiences. And we have discussed this many times in sessions that it had to be this intensive for people to be poked awake, to notice what is going on and what may not be working for people and what may be working for people. And so this is challenging times for those who are awoken to the other agendas, because they feel so frustrated, they feel so helpless and so vulnerable, and all of those really uncomfortable, really valid feelings. This is not fun times when we want to really look at what is going on in terms of where they want humanity to go. And so with all our love and compassion and hindsight, well, we've already got the bigger perspective. We already know where their agenda is and what they are moving humanity towards. And it's astounding when you start looking into this sort of stuff. And many people have called this going into their rabbit hole and discovering a whole lot of uncomfortable truths. And yes, absolutely. When you know other people's agendas, it can be incredibly uncomfortable, because it pushes our moral compass inside out and upside down. It is extraordinary. And ultimately, it always boils down to control and manipulation, and that is their true purpose. They want to control and manipulate for their own purposes. It's never really been about money, because they've got so much of it that they are not needing that. There is no lack of that. There is an abundance of that. But what they love and what they thrive to get off on and to have more and more and more of it is control. And so they are pushing others around. Those others may sound and look like political leaders and our influencers and a whole lot of other people that are manipulating and coercing people dangerously, almost, when they are hiding behind the fact of who they are. I certainly can tell those who have got the other agenda, because it sounds like they're trying to coerce people into finding the truth, but then they just marinate those people in the fear, and that only money will be the solution out of this, and only cryptocurrencies and a whole lot of other sort of perspectives, and they're waiting for free energy to be bestowed upon them. And so fun times, and they've been waiting for so long, and yet we've already got that technology. So what's the holdup there? Oh, that's right. It's those people still who are trying to control and manipulate, and they will never allow any of this technology to be given to the to what they would perceive as us, little 3D Muppets that are just annoying them, because, you know, we're eating and breathing what they feel like should be theirs. So it is interesting times, that's for sure. And to be able to see it from the bigger perspective, from what we hear in sessions, this has to play out. They're never going to win. They're never going to win. They think they're going to win, and it's not until they experience those fun times on old Earth that they realize that their focus and their moral compass was very self-serving. And when they physically have to experience the old Earth for themselves, they're going to have some big epiphanies. And that is fantastic, because they need some big epiphanies. But some of them have been blinded to the truth and the bigger moral compasses to continually play their role. Must be very hard. We must be very compassionate for those playing the dark side, because they're just actors in this, aren't they? They're just being those role models for those people to be guided. We're all supposed to wake up to those manipulations, to all influences that have got another agenda that is not empowering your soul. It's not empowering your life contract, not empowering you in general to be able to be a free thinker, to be able to be someone who is not afraid to love, someone who's not afraid to speak their truth, and someone who's not afraid in general, because we know that when we play with fear, it does nothing for our high vibrations. In fact, it completely plummets us down into despair and all of those really horrible, dense emotions that we're well and truly mastered by now. So it is very interesting when we are watching the news. Well, I don't watch the official news, but I watch some Telegram pages where people are sharing videos of convoys and a whole lot of other freedom movements. And I love that. It feels so good. And those people are using their free will to connect in with other like-minded people, and they're sharing their truths. They're sharing their knowledge. They're acknowledging with each other, complete strangers. We know the truth. We know their agendas. We're here together. We're not afraid to speak out now. And when you can start speaking your truth to complete strangers and getting supported and respected with that, it's quite liberating. It's quite empowering, and it's quite comforting to know you're not the only ones that can see the emperor has no clothes on. So anyway, so what they're doing metaphysically is that they're using their free will to be seeking change. They're using their free will to want a better future. They're using their free will to find other people and to reach out. And so they have been just on their journey to their destinations while they're going to these convoys. They're just putting out their thoughts like this: I really can't wait to meet other like-minded people. I really want to meet like-minded people. I really want to talk to others. I really want to find others. And so they're using that kind of dialogue and intention to manifest those creations and those connections and creations. They're meeting soul family. They are meeting soul family friends. They are meeting complete strangers who are so in sync with them, it gives them connections. Many people have said on their awakening journey, I've lost all my old friends. All those people we've been growing up together for 50 years, besties, basically got matching tattoos together. And as soon as this COVID thing hit, we separated and divorced our friendships, and we're on completely different sides of the coin. And so it's been hard for them. But you know what? When we separate ourselves from certain friends who may be holding us back spiritually, maybe holding us back to grow and expand ourselves, our teams will give us that separation on purpose for us to focus on self and grow self. And sometimes we love our friends so much, we will allow them to hold us back. Not because it's almost like we don't value ourselves enough to trust that we need to do some inner work to be able to focus on us, because we're supporting our friends. And so, you know, again, that comes down to our self-empowerment and not disempowering ourselves to grow. Because often when our friends, you know, when they're all wanting to get bangs and we're like, I don't know, you guys are peer pressuring me into bangs. I don't know, it looks great on you, but it's not good for me. You know, something like that. But it's powerful to speak our truths. This is not a time where we're going to get killed for speaking our truth, and yet we're still afraid as if it would be. And people can only disrespect us if we allow them to. So remember, if we feel disrespected, it's because we've chosen to feel disrespected. We're very capable of talking to our friends and saying, gosh, this is amazing, this conversation, because it's triggering me into feeling disrespected by you. And I know you that you love me and respect me. So let's see, where is this communication disconnection coming from? It diffuses the conversation quite quickly as soon as you start acknowledging your feelings. Because sometimes we just have conversations and we don't say anything, and we just feel and react, and then we just shut down our voices and we just feel all of these things, but we don't express it. And then we work through it independently ourselves. So think of a time when someone has disrespected you and you've allowed it because you've not confronted them with that. Oh, confronting people feels hideous, doesn't it? Would prefer to be always disrespected versus confronting people about their disrespect. Remembering it's not really a disrespect to you. It's just a lack of their own inner work and self-awareness that you're seeing. So it comes out as a reaction from them to you as feeling disrespectful, but really it's really not much to do with you, because it's just a real serious reflection of where they're at. And so we can give them love and compassion, but don't buy into that disrespect. You love yourselves enough to know that that disrespect does not belong on you or for you or to you. It's really great sometimes when we are disrespected to just stop and think, am I being an asshole here? Should I deserve this respect? And so, actually face your fears. Is this disrespect warranted? Is this deserving? And, sometimes when we're still in self-sabotage mode, we will fully be like, oh yeah, totally. I always deserve disrespect. So catch yourself. Are you still thinking that you should be disrespected? Because if you're telling your truth and sharing your truth and feelings, and people are still disrespecting you, that is them. That is not you, my friends. That is absolutely them. And so it is just merely a reflection of where they're at. And we should be able to manage our emotions with more balance, knowing who we are. And so sometimes when we're not too sure who we are and someone wants to come and disrespect us, we trust and value their opinion of us more than our opinion of us. And so, think of all the times where we have had these interactions, and often it is our teams wanting to trigger us with that disrespect to see, are they going to start loving themselves, empowering themselves yet, or are they just going to be pushed over? And so often people keep saying, I don't know why I attract all these people that just run me over all the time. And then the subconscious is like, have you finished yet? Are you going to stop that yet? Because you're allowing those people to run you over. You're allowing people to treat you the way that they are allowed to be treated. If you have firm boundaries and love them and say, oh, stop, my friend. I'm sorry. I think you're confusing me with someone else, because I certainly don't deserve that respect. Speaking truth. People who want to control and manipulate hate that. Hate people speaking the truth, because it shows them up, it shows their agenda, it shows their actual true moral integrity, and it scares the Jesus out of them, because they don't want people speaking up for themselves. In fact, the most insecure people will want to shut people down with more disrespect, more abuse and insults and nitpicking of really pathetic, tiny little things just to have arguments, and, to try and distract from the bigger actual subject matter, which is, usually common sense screaming at everyone to be noticed. So blah, 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 blah. Interesting. I feel like today when I was having my morning coffee and I just, I was minding my own business, and I was thinking, gosh, I wonder if they want me to do a video today. And boy, they just, because I opened myself up to use my free will to find out what they wanted, I honestly felt like there was a rush at the door, and then there was all of these things that they wanted me to say. And I want to keep these videos short and not a constant live broadcast of my dear diaries. So pardon me, I want to do some channeling today because I think people need to hear that from them. What I'm also hearing is that the governments aren't going to change, my friends. If the governments change something, it's merely because they've got what they've already wanted. So if they're suddenly changing certain things, it's because they've already got the numbers that they want to and capture them for, having their own medical treatments. So, we always want the good in the world, don't we? And we always see these little positive things as great celebrations because we're just so excited for change of positive and getting back our freedoms and all this sort of stuff because we all deserve it. And yet, there are some silver linings to certain things, but when we look at it from the metaphysical perspective, when countries are stepping back with their mandates, it's because they've got their quotas for numbers to have been impressed upon in a medical way. So we know that agenda, we have to accept it. I'm not impressed. Let's, not pretend that I have to be balanced with this. I can see that there is a purpose there. I can see it all from the bigger perspective. I can respect all life contracts, all that sort of stuff. I'm still not impressed. It has to get to this far. It's not impressive at all. I think it's, it's disdain, disgusted, whatever those words are, all of those together, merge that into a new word. That is it. So anyway, I'm not trying to dismiss anyone's feelings from this because this is a freaking big journey to go through. So, I fully am there with you guys, just feeling those emotional waves of connections and unities and hope. And we all still have, to some degree, this hope that this planet and this world that we live in is going to correct itself. Oh, whoopsie, we made a mistake. Sorry about that, people. We will unvaccinate you now. So, I'm very vocal about my feelings and thoughts on this, and I'm still trying to manage my own balance. I'm getting there too. So this is why we can't have the 5D here. So everyone who is having these experiences of the medical imprinting, that's part of a huge part of the shift. And so while it's not going to look like full world destruction of massive floodings and earthquakes and volcanoes and all that sort of stuff, at this moment in time, we're seeing lots of exit points through other things. And so it just looks like, oh, well, that's a coincidence. Who knew that they were, so unwell, those healthy teenagers and all sorts. So seeing it from the bigger picture, seeing it from the bigger perspective, they are needing to shift. They had to shift. And often those souls are giving their whole family and their social circles the opportunities to see and question the narrative, because they've never needed to stop and see and question the narrative. And so those souls are using their exit points to help others experience this, because often people will not notice what's happening in the world unless it physically happens to you, directly happens to you. And so all experiences super purposeful. So this is why I get confused why so many people are still saying that the new earth is here and that they're already in the fifth, because that is all sweet. And if you feel that way, fantastic, keep your vibrations high, never drop out, be in that, say what you are then, be what you are then. If you believe that you're in the fifth dimension here in your crystalline body, living your best life, fantastic, congratulations, your job is complete then, because you should never dip down into the 3D, because physically it's not possible to be in the fifth dimension here on the third dimension in your physical bodies. You can dip into mindsets and connect in. I'm constantly connecting into higher dimensions. And so, it is possible, because that's a mindset. I can connect in and tap into my guides, Mr. SC, all the time when I choose to use my free will to do so. And so that's fine, but I'm still tethered into the third dimensional body. So if I'm on Facebook, if anyone's on Facebook, they're still physically in the third dimension. They haven't left their physical bodies. And this is the really uncomfortable thing for many people to accept. So they just dismiss the actual information we share in the quantum sessions, the hundreds of quantum sessions that I've done. I think there's nearly 500 videos of quantum sessions on the other channel that is all expressing piece by piece, mansplaining the heck out of what the shift is and what the physical shift to New Earth is, and knowing that it's not just going to be New Earth people go to. So right now, those people who have exited for various other reasons over sort of like the last few years, they are, we know because we've gone on to sessions and asked, they're on ships. They are preparing, they're getting ready for everyone to also come in, and they're going to be supporting those and explaining to others, reminding others what's going on. Fun times when you have this veil of amnesia, right? Yes and no, but we all knew we would. We all agreed on our life contract that we would have this. And so, lots of people think, oh, wish I wouldn't have it. So, it's such a limited thing to have the veil of forgetfulness. But those people who don't have that veil, be careful what you wish for, my friends, because that is extraordinarily hard. Because then you know that you're in this illusion in the third dimension, and everything you say sounds absolutely bonkers to those people who are like, oh no, time's real, absolutely. Oh, we don't have any other lifetimes. No, we go to heaven, not a ship, you crazy. So, if you want to have completely full judgment and disrespect of anything that you believe and know, because you know it without the veil, you've got to be really tough shelled to really cope with confused people. And isn't it really what we're having to deal with often? Confused people. And so instead of us dismissing them as being confused, oh, you think that the new earth is here, how cute. I'm not going to dismiss them. I just realized they haven't got the bigger picture. They haven't got the bigger information. They have misunderstood either old information or influencers who are saying that they're here now in the fifth dimension living their best lives. So there's lots to be said about that. And I think I've taken myself on a little tangent and you've come along with me. There's so much to be said. I highly recommend listening to the sessions in the other channel if you are truly wanting to find all of the missing pieces that you feel like you haven't caught up with. Understanding why we have to shift, understanding why we're here now, and understanding the amazing experience of the new earth is definitely going to help you understand the significance of it and actually kind of diffuse the 3D emotions of the drama playing out to help others awaken to those agendas. Super significant, super purposeful, fantastic lessons and experiences as we all are patiently, lovingly, calmly waiting for those people who haven't quite caught up yet to start just noticing the other agendas and actually using the free will to ask for change, asking for unity, asking for communities, asking for more like-minded people to come into their lives, and just reaching out. And often when they are seeking that, they're actually calling in a lot of their teams as well. And so while we think, I'd love to have a new 3D friend who fully gets all of this, all the stuff that I know, ultimately, we're also calling in non-3D friends to be able to help assist us and guide us more. So using your free will isn't just about, manipulating our physical days and our physical lives. We're actually calling in a lot more support. So, it is fantastic times to ask for support. We're always getting what we need, not necessarily what we want, but what we truly need. Anyway, my friends, have a fantastic day. I think they want to do a channeling just to confirm that the governments and the systems and those agendas aren't changing. So we have to, and the best way to do that is with our perception of why there needs to be that duality. So much love to you. Keep up with your drinking of water, honor yourselves, love yourselves because you are fantastic. And I'll see you again soon.